Part of the road back's getting out and finding your way into strange airports. So today we head on down to Camden, Arkansas, out of Hot Springs, and we're going to find our way in and out. Been going in and out of a lot of rural airports just to not have as much traffic to compete with, and getting used to finding the airport, getting down to traffic pattern altitude, entering the traffic pattern, and getting back out of there. So today we had us and one other plane in the pattern, and we were a little bit faster. We're going to cross midfield, enter a left-hand downwind. I forget what the runway is. It's probably 16, but going to get ourselves established on final, 500 feet above the ground, and a 500 foot a minute descent, looking for the 1,000-footers. So here we are crossing midfield, and got my 19-year-old in there with me. He's working on his private pilot's license and is soloed and bought another airplane, so now we own two. I would describe this as a bad crack habit at this point, as this first plane we've put a bunch of money into with putting an autopilot back in it and fixing a few things that were wrong on it, as you would with any 1980s airplane. So we're going to make a left-hand turn here into the downwind. We're starting down at 500 feet a minute. Going to get down to traffic pattern altitude shortly here. There we go. We're going to get the first notch of flaps. Running a little bit tighter pattern today with my wing on the tip on the runway. Going to extend out a little bit further to make sure we got some time to make good decisions on final. And try to get on final 500 foot above the ground. Been running just 2 notches of flaps unless I really need to get down or have a lot of weight in the airplane. But right now my comfort level is really just 2 people in the airplane and 3 or 4 hours worth of fuel. And I think it's important on your way back as a rusty pilot to make good minimum settings for you, not necessarily what the FAA says, but what do you feel comfortable with. And I really don't feel comfortable with 4 people in the plane, and I honestly don't like to fly the thing without somebody in there, period, even if it's just my wife. But here we turn on final, about 500 feet above the ground, and we're establishing 500 feet a minute there, and we are at 80 knots. And I'll get the plane slowed up over the asphalt here. I can't remember if it floats a little bit or not, but still not smooth enough on landings as far as just transitioning. But I've learned to kind of move past that and just fly the plane and get it on the ground. It's private pilot level. It's not commercial pilot with 1,500 hour level. So here we go. I'm going to start getting that throttle out. Take that throttle out. There's 1,000 footers, and we're down just a little bit shy of them. Going to clean the plane up. Then going to get to working our way outbound. I'm still learning on the autopilot. I would really like to have that thing armed for the flight director to keep the roll pitch safe on the way out. But I've still got a bad habit of start trying to mess around with it before I'm high enough in the air. I've got to set a good minimum for me, maybe at 1,000 feet before I touch it and just hand fly it to there. But Camden, Arkansas, actually a lot of Air Force military stuff going on there, believe it or not. The cruise missiles, guidance systems, I think, are made there. So you got a lot of engineers living in rural Arkansas. But here we go. We're up again and going to get 500 feet above the planet, and we're going to start turning out to get out of the other airplane's way. He's making his way into the downwind on the other side, so we're just going to climb up and exit back out to the west and then turn back to the northwest and head on home to Hot Springs.